Thanks. Governor Tony Evers and Republican leaders at the Capitol say they've struck a blockbuster bipartisan deal using part of Wisconsin's budget surplus to boost K-12 schools, cut property taxes, and put cash back into the pockets of working families. This deal pours more than $600 million into Wisconsin's K-12 schools. That includes about $300 million in new general school aid starting in the upcoming school year, on top of the nearly $1.4 billion education boost already built into the current state budget. The deal also targets special education, raising the state's reimbursement rate to 50% in the school year. That's the largest increase in state history, doubles what it was when Governor Evers took office. The package also provides about $350 million in property tax relief, most of it through general school aid, plus new aid for Tech College and holding those local levies down. And it sends more than $850 million in direct payments to more than 3 million Wisconsinites. That equals about $300 per individual taxpayer, $600 for joint filers. The state superintendent of schools, Jill Underly, saying this is a good first step in the right direction, saying, quote, "This investment is a down payment on what Wisconsin kids need and deserve, and I hope this momentum continues. Students should not have to resort to suing the state to receive stable funding for public education. I hope today marks the beginning of a continued partnership and progress. Wisconsin's children are counting on it." End quote. So what is next? The Joint Finance Committee scheduled to take up the deal tomorrow, with the full Assembly and Senate expected to vote the next day. Governor Evers says if it passes, he could sign the package as soon as next week.